Who is Dre?
Dre's a real cool person. Like the vibe with he a real cool person. Like he really stay out the way. And yeah, like you gotta like really know me to like understand like who I am. I can honestly say I think I had like one of the best. Like I grew up with both my parents in my life. I grew up with I have a sister, a brother. I was honestly spoiled because everything I asked for, I got it. It might not have came when I wanted, it came when everything I asked for, I got it. So I was kind of like a spoiled child. I think I'm still spoiled right now, but I had a good life growing up.
Tell us a little bit more about your parents.
My parents. Alright, so I'm gonna start like with my mama, and I'm gonna start with my dad. So my mama, that's like no disrespect with the word, but that's my dog. Like I rock my mama heavy. I go to work for my mama. Like my mama, she always tell me, she'll be like, what she saying? She said that if it came down to it, she'll give her life so I can have mine. But me personally, if it came down to it, I'd give my life so she can have her. That's how hard I rock with my mama. I talk to her about everything. Like everything you can think of, I already talk to her about. Like I talk to her about anything. My dad, that's my dog too. That's my ride or die right here. Like I said, I grew up with him in my life, like my whole life. Some people don't grow up with a dad, but I'm blessed to say that I don't have that story. I had my dad in my life. My whole 16 years. Dang, I had to think about my age. My whole 16 years I had my whole life. And so he was always there.
So take us through a little bit of your childhood. How and where did you grow up, and how was it growing up? With having both of your parents, because some people don't have that. So take us through it.
So we're gonna start with where I grew up. Honestly, I grew up in two places. I grew up. Well, I think I grew up in two. I may be wrong, but I think I grew up in two places. The house that I'm in right now, and my grandma's old house. So my grandma and papa old neighborhood, it was like, I guess you can call it the hood. It was a small neighborhood. Everybody knew everybody. So if you was able to walk in the group and we be talking about somebody, everybody knew who it was. It was like a bunch of trees, and the reason why I was always over it a lot, because every time I come home from school, my mom would be at work and my dad would be at work. So my grandma should come to the house and pick me up off the bus with her when I go over there. And then most of the night I'll spend the night over there and stuff like that. So I really grew up over there. And then I grew up at the house I am now because I've been there. I want to say, I may be wrong, but I want to say since I was 5. I've been over there. And yeah, it's a real good neighborhood, friendly people. So yeah, I can't say I was raised in the hood, I wasn't raised in the hood, but yeah, I grew up. Those are the main two places I grew up in.
Take me through the night that you lost your grandma.
That night was crazy, cause so I remember it was yesterday. Me and my dad, we was at church, and my mama and my sister, they was all at the house. And my grandma, she been in the hospital because she lost taste. She lost taste, right? And when she lost taste, she never could regain that. So she been in the hospital sick or whatever. But me being young, I believe I was around 12. So me being young, I didn't really know what was going on. All I knew was, okay, grandma ain't feeling well, so she in the hospital. She'll be back home probably a week or two. But we was getting out of church, and I was talking to some old people, and dad came, he ran to me, he was like, hey, we gotta go. Something wrong with your granny. When he said that, I didn't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking, okay, maybe she still not feeling well, maybe she's not feeling better, right? And so we get a call, we get a call, and we driving to my grandma's house because my papa still stayed there. I'm guessing my mama was over there, right? So we drive to my grandma's house, and he say, "Dre, your grandma not doing well." Me being the person I was, my dad, he never talked like that. Like, you could tell by the tone, something was really, really wrong. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I'm worried now. Like, what's going on? And that's all he said. He was like, your grandma not doing well. So we get to Granny and Papa house, and when we walk in, everybody sitting in the living room. You know, my mama sitting in the living room, my cousin sitting in the living room, and my papa was sitting at the kitchen table. Like, normally, don't nobody really be over there like that, especially when Granny not at home. Like, nobody, my cousins, they don't normally be around that like they was that night. So we walked in, I'm just thinking like, well, like, what's going on, right? My mama, she was just like rocking in the chair. I can still to this day see like her face, the same face she had, and she looked like she was scared. So I don't remember like what happened after that. All I remember is the hospital called, and they said something to my mama, but I think I went to the restroom night, so I didn't hear the first thing they said. But then the phone rang again, and probably within 15 seconds, my mama, she said, "What?" And she started crying. And I knew it was, like, I knew like something must be really going on with my grandma. So I didn't even know details, so I just thought, oh my God, she's dying, right? So then my mama said what? She started crying, and she took the phone from her ear and she just put it on the table, and she was just going there, she was just crying. My papa picked up the phone, and I heard him say, "Okay, we're on our way," whatever, right? So at this point, I ran into my grandma's room and got on the side of the bed, and I was just crying. Like, I was just bawling my eyes out crying because like grandma, like, it's my grandma, right? So then I remember my dad coming in the room, picking me up, and he said, "We're gonna be all right." Me being me, I'm like, "No, we not. It's my grandma, right?" And he was like, "No, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right." He was hugging me, we was crying together, and he was like, "Come on, let's go." So we got in the car. We was on the way to the hospital. And then the hospital called again. I think the hospital called again. And I guess it was saying she was taking a turn for the worse. So at this point, it's turned into having no taste, the cancer, to now, going from bad to worse, right? So we get to the hospital, and she was in ICU, right? So she was in ICU, and we all walking in. And I remember we walked in, these double doors, we went to the left, we turned left. And then I was scared. Like, I was scared to see the way she was looking because of the way everybody was talking. So I really didn't want to see that. But at the same time, I wanted to, because I want to like see my grandma, right? So my mama was in front of us. It was my mama, my dad, then it was me, my papa, and like my cousin behind, right? So when my mama was going, keep in mind, my mama bawling out her. She's literally bawling her eyes out, crying. She didn't even see my grandma yet, right? No, I take it back. She was sad, like she was crying, but she wasn't boo-boo crying. Like she was just walking. And so she walked in first, and then she like looked around the corner into the room, and she looked, and she just started bawling out, crying. She like, excuse my language, she damn near fell on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And she crying, so I'm thinking like, man, like, what is it? So I looked, and she was just laying there, It seemed like she was helpless, like she was just laying there. She had the ventilator in, and it's like she couldn't do nothing. So at this point, I'm crying. I'm like, take me out of here. I don't even want to be in here. Take me out of here. So I went in the what you call that room? The waiting room. And then we was at the hospital about 3 hours at night. So the doctors was coming in and out I see you talking, having meetings with my mama and my dad, whatever. And so they came out, and I remember them saying, I think they asked her, do they want to keep on the ventilator, or do they just want to let her go, right? So at that point, that was hard. So I guess my mama made a decision that we were just gonna let her go, because mama said she didn't want her to suffer. So my dad told me, you want to come say anything to grandma? And I went in there, I held her hand. It was so hard seeing her like that. And I told her I love her, and I told her, what did I tell her? I told her I love her. And I told her I miss her. I told her I'll see her soon. And after that, it was just,
So we'll pause right there. You want to pause it?
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Auden,
And it's your boy Jerry.
and we're back with another.
Banger! Ready? Okay, so tell us who Auden is.
Auden Smith. Auden, somebody I truly, deeply care for, love for, do anything for. It's somebody that you would always have, it's somebody that I would always have that love for, since we was so in love, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what she is. She a real nice, sweet girl. Only if you meet you know what I'm saying? If you just know her, then she not gonna seem sweet. You have to really just really know her. But yeah.
Take us how you guys met.
How we met?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at you, blushing.
Okay, so what happened was, freshman year in high school, my freshman year in high school, I had just had a breakup with this girl, right? And I was on Instagram. Remember on Instagram when people used to do To Be Honest and all that other stuff? So she gave me To Be Honest, and she was like, to be honest, you cool, you cute, we should talk more. After that, we didn't talk for a whole month, right? And so, keep in mind, I'm single at this point. So she texted me, she was like, hey, and I was like, what's up? And then we was talking, chopping it up. And she was like, I see you just got a relationship or whatever. Now, I may be wrong, I may be quoting this wrong, but I'm just going off what I believe. And then after that, we exchanged numbers and we was just talking. And then I didn't see her for about 4 months, because I was in high school, she was in middle school, so I didn't really see her for 4 months until it was a basketball game or something. I seen her then, but yeah, we met after my breakup. If I wouldn't have had to break up, we wouldn't have met. But yeah, that's how we met.
Take us on the first date. What happened on the first date?
The first date?
Yeah, tell us what we went, what we ate, or what did we do? So let's ask the question again. Okay, so alright, let's take it. So this question. So you considered the first date her birthday. So tell us about it.
I wouldn't consider that first date though.
Okay, so what's the first date, boy?
Bro, I don't know, we've been on so many dates.
Okay, so I'm gonna rephrase the question. So take us on, probably the best date you guys had while you guys were in a relationship.
Bro. Cool. Our last anniversary. I had everything planned out for her. Right? I had everything planned out the whole day, literally the whole day. And let me see. And that morning, what did we do? I took her to get her nails done. After that, I surprised her with pictures. We took pictures. We went to come eat. We ate seafood. The girl loves seafood, man. Dang. And after that, we went to think we went to arcade. We went to go play arcades or whatever. And then the whole day, like the rest of the day, we was chilling. We were supposed to go out to eat dinner, but when we ate that first time, we kind of filled us up with what homies. But like, it was more details to that story, but like, that was probably the best day we had.
Tell us where things went wrong in you guys' relationship.
We both made a mistake. It probably shouldn't have happened. It was like one of those mistakes where it puts your relationship online, and it's like it's all about trust. Like we act like try to re-trust each other, and so we had conversations. But when the situation first happened, I told her, I was like, okay, cool. I feel like we were done forever. So I talked to her, and then I told her I was gonna tell like social media or whatever. Cause like I'm a real private person. I don't tell social media nothing. Like anything going on, I don't do that. So I told her, we had a conversation, we agreed, and I posted that video. Man, I ain't gonna lie, that's the only thing I'ma say. It is what it is. You know, I can't even say nothing bad, because at the end of the day, life go on, and that's it. But like, I appreciate everybody that support me. You know what I'm talking about? So like, if y'all support me, I'm forever rocking with y'all. I appreciate that for sure. And then after that, probably we didn't talk for like 2 hours. We had conversations. Like we kept having conversations. It's just I wanted to make sure me and her were straight before I brought it to like the outside world type stuff. And so we had conversations, like long conversations. And
So is there a possibility of reconnection? You know, you guys get back together, and if so, can you see what will be the future in 10 years?
I mean, we was together for 3 years, bro. So it's like the love's always there, and the love will always be there, right? But do I see myself being with her still? Yeah, I do. Like, we agreed that we was gonna work on each other and stuff like that. But yeah, I could motivate to see myself being with her again. Like I said, we both made a mistake in the whole situation. So it's like, yeah. And 10 years, you said with her, right?
Yeah.
In 10 years, I see both of us pursuing our dreams. She's like, we got YouTube. She has her own business. She want to get in cosmetics and culinary. I want to do strictly YouTube. So yeah, I see us really like working in 10 years.
Okay, where do you see yourself in 10 years, with or without all that? Doesn't matter. Just where does your life go from now, from this day forward in 10 years? Like, how does this day sit up 10 years from now?
10 years, I'll be like working and grinding. Cause my main goal, I always say this, I don't really nobody know this, but my main goal is to be at the point where I can literally take care of the people that took care of me. Like my mom, my dad, make sure they're good, like they made sure I was good or whatever. And once I do that, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, however I get it.
Cool, that's it.
That's it.